Real quick before we jump into the video, guys, for the rest of this year I'm going to be on a fundraising campaign to raise a minimum of £1,000 for the Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. For more information on the charity and what it does, and for the donation links, please look in the description below. And thank you all for your continued support. Enjoy the show. What's going on, guys? Right, Mommy Teacher now, and we're back with the RBL. Week number 3. Your Royal Bomber Bombies are taking on the Norfolk Nidorinas and my fellow Brit, Midnight Wolf. This is going to be a very interesting match. Midnight has had a pretty good start to the season. He's won his opening 2 games. We are, of course, 1-1, so not quite as strong. But we did have a pretty good, compelling win against Hot Wings last week after a pretty unfortunate loss in week 1. So we're in a pretty decent spot. And Midnight Wolf is a very interesting player because even though he's a newcomer to VGC, this is his first doubles league, he has got a pretty good, decent record in singles format, so he does have some good competitive knowledge to draw on. And it does kind of show with this individual draft. It's a very, very bulky team. For sure. Definitely a very bulky offensive playstyle, which is pretty common in singles draft format, so not too surprised to see it. But it's kind of interesting to see where the damage comes from with this team. Because even though some of these Pokemon can be offensive, often they are not in VGC format, notably the Arcanine. Arcanine typically was the premier Intimidate user before Incineroar came around, of course, but definitely a decent Pokemon in general. He's got some pretty interesting cores to this team. He's obviously got the Sand core with Hippowdon, Dracozolt, and Mandibuzz. Hippowdon, of course, being the Sand Setter with Sandstream, pretty physically bulky Mon with actually a decently high physical attack stat, so he can opt to run it offensive. And slow if he opts to. I would imagine he probably runs it more defensive mind. And obviously Dracozolt with now access to Sandstream, doubling its speed and sand is actually pretty important for it. It actually does allow it to potentially outspeed max speed Pheromosa. So that is something I do need to bear in mind because with enough investment, Dracozolt in sand, I think it needs to be jolly near max speed. I think it's like 228 speed. To outspeed max speed Pheromosa. Obviously, I'm not necessarily going to bring max speed Pheromosa, but the calc is there. The other option for him is to potentially run Choice Scarf, but if he runs Choice Scarf, he can't max it, because if he maxes, and you essentially lose your Choice boost. So that's one of the downsides to Dynamax if you're maxing a Choice item Pokemon, is that you lose the effects of the Choice entirely, which includes the single moves, and it also includes the boost. So that's often one of the reasons why you don't see max targets running choice items. For that very reason, you often see them run Life Orb instead, just because they get the extra boost from that. So Dracozolt itself is actually a very scary Pokemon. It's often a very good mixed offensive mon, particularly in OU singles format. It runs mostly Bolt Beak, Draco Meteor, Fire Blast, and Earthquake. That's kind of what I've seen it run most of the time. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he runs a similar set here. He might carry Protect instead of one of those coverage moves, because he doesn't necessarily need all of the coverage moves in the world. But Dracozolt can be very, very scary. Doesn't even have to max necessarily. Bolt Beak actually does more damage when you don't max it, so that's something to consider. But we do have a decent answer for Dracozolt. We will talk about that when we get to our team. But alongside that is Mandibuzz, of course. Mandibuzz gets the Overcoat ability, which prevents it from taking chip damage from Sandstorm or Hail, which is actually a pretty nice ability to have, particularly as Mandibuzz is going to be somewhat pressured on this team because this team is alarmingly weak to ground with a hell of a lot of Pokemon being weak to it, and Mandibuzz being the only immunity, so definitely a bit of a problem. Ground is a bit of an issue for this team, and I wouldn't be too surprised if Midnight Wolf patches that up with a free agency swap at some point, because I do think there are a couple of Pokemon on this team that feel a little bit redundant. Porygon 2, of course, is a good Trick Room setter. Definitely something to bear in mind. Trick Room is pretty valid on this team. You know, things like P2 Hippo could be a thing. Alchemy is not bad under Trick Room because it's not the fastest thing in the world either, so there are a few things that could work. Dragalge is the big one, though. Dragalge is pretty much the only recognized huge, heavy special attacker on this team, with access to adaptability, of course, and pretty decent special attack combined with its very good special bulk. It is actually very, very valid as an offensive option under Trick Room. It's base 44 speed, so it's not the slowest in the world, but it is slow, which does mean it underspeeds things like Grimmsnarl, which is very important. So there's a lot of things to consider with Trick Room options here. Obviously, my Trick Room option is actually a little bit stronger, with Indeedee, Torkoal, Steelix, Munchlax, various other things that are all considerably slower than his slower mons. So that's something to consider for him as well. G-Max Alchemy is kind of an outlier here. Obviously, this was a very budget pick to allow him to pick up some extra upper tier Pokemon. Alchemy is not the worst G-Max in the world. Its max move isn't completely terrible. Its max move does actually heal itself and its partner for 1/6 of their maximum HP, which actually isn't terrible. It's essentially Life Dew plus damage, which isn't bad, honestly. It's not great. It does have good special defense, though, but it is very physically frail, so it is a bit of a problem. Next things, the only other things to talk about, really, are Audino and Roselia. I don't think either of these really come. They're not super great, honestly. Roselia is one of those Pokemon where if this was singles draft, you know, Spikes, Toxic Spikes could be valid. But honestly, Roselia doesn't do a lot of damage. It doesn't do all that much. And I have plenty of answers for it on my team, so there's no way it comes. Audino is kind of in the same boat. I have too many answers for it. It is decent, mind. Audino as a bulky support Pokemon is not a terrible option, but it just feels like on this team he's got way better Pokemon. So, I'm expecting, looking at this, he probably picks anything of P2, Mandibuzz, Dragalge, Hippo, Zeraora, Dracozolt, and Arcanine. Those are the things I think are the most likely options. Of the one that probably would drop from this, maybe P2, honestly. I think he probably doesn't want to try to rely on Trick Room here. I definitely think he probably focuses on Dracozolt, Zeraora, or Dragalge as max targets. Arcanine can be very annoying as a bulky pivot. I can definitely see that. And Hippo, of course, try to counter my weather, because I am a Sun user on this season. So if I can play around weather perfectly well, which we did do a decent job of against Hot Wings last week, then I think we're actually in a very, very good spot to take this game on. So that's his team. Let's talk about mine and what we're bringing. So, naming this week, of course, as we're facing Midnight Wolf, we're all 12 AM names. So, we have 12 AM Troll this time. We're running the Screens Grimmsnarl variant. This week, we are max HP, max defense. This is mostly because the majority of his team is physical. We are running Spirit Break and Light Screen, though. This can allow me to somewhat cripple the Dragalge, which is kind of important here. So, the reason we opted for Screens this week is because his damage output is relatively low profile. Like, yes, there's Dracozolt, Zeraora, Dragalge that all do a lot of massive amounts of damage, but other than that, it's difficult to see where the majority of his damage output is coming from. Fake Tears is actually very nice with the next Pokemon we're going to talk about, so we are going to go with this, of course. We are Prankster, as always, because priority moves are pretty important in this league. But we are fully Fizz Def. This gives us the best chance to take on every hit. Light Clay is a really, really nice item. It gives us 8 turns of screens instead of 5, which is very, very nice. It means that I generally only need to set it up once per battle, which is really handy for us, particularly when we know what we're up against. But we are pairing up this Grimmsnarl with 12 AM model, the Focus Sash Pheromosa. We're running special this week, so very, very solid option here, which pairs up nicely with the Fake Tears, because Fake Tears drop special defense by 2 stages. We're running Blizzard, Focus Blast, Icy Wind, and Protect. Didn't see the need for anything else, honestly. Blizzard is actually very, very scary for him. Even if I don't max Pheromosa, Blizzard can potentially one-shot both the Hippo and the Dracozolt after Dracozolt is Fake Tears, even if Dracozolt maxes. So that is something to bear in mind. It's definitely a very, very heavy hitter. I can, of course, to max this just to one-shot the Dracozolt, which is probably the biggest priority. Obviously, we are Sash, so we do guarantee to get 1 hit off, which is pretty important here. He doesn't really have a lot of priority on his team aside from fake out Zeraora, but if I think he's going to fake out my Pheromosa, I can just switch in another Pokemon on my team. So I'm not too bothered about that at all. But yeah, Blizzard plus Focus Blast does a hell of a lot. Icy Wind is there if I need to prevent the Dracozolt from getting faster than me for any particular reason other than trying to knock it out. I do expect him to potentially be Policy, so I do need to make sure I pick up the kill on it. Protect is also nice for max guarding, just to make sure I can actually do some damage. Next up is going to make his debut this season is 12 AM Drago, the Dracloak, rocking a Violite with enough speed to outspeed Arcanine, as that's the fastest thing on his team I can outspeed. I can't outspeed Zeraora or Dracozolt in Sand. But of course, we are running max HP, enough speed, and then the rest are just split across the defensive stats. We're running Will-O-Wisp, Ally Switch, Breaking Swipe, Protect. This is basically my physical crippler. Kind of, in a way, Grimmsnarl is my special crippler, because I only really need to worry too much about Dragougi and the stray special moves on Dracozolt in that regard. But this is my crippler for physical attackers, as the vast majority of his team does physical damage, primarily. Hippo, Zeraora, Dracozolt, Arcanine are primarily physical damage dealers. Mandibuzz can be as well. So, if I can get some cripples on the damage output, we can really lower the amount of damage he's doing per turn, which is essentially what we're going for here. Ally Switch is extremely nice because, of course, we can pivot out our max Pokemon to take an extra hit, or let Draco take the hit while we get our max moves off, which is actually going to be very, very scary. Particularly, it allows us to protect Pheromosa if we need to, which is always handy. But yeah, Breaking Swipe is an extremely good move. Dropping both opponents' physical attack stats is pretty handy for us. Obviously, this doesn't work on Alchemy, which does kind of wall this, but I'm not really too worried about that, because I'm probably not going to have Dracloak against Alchemy anyway. Next up on the team is going to be 12 AM Mood, the Indeedee, running those leftovers fully Spadef that we ran last time. This is essentially our Dragougi answer, in a way. But we're running pretty much the same set. We swapped Helping Hand for Protect instead, so we're running Expanded Force, Trick Room, Ally Switch, Protect. This pretty much gives me all the agency I need. Trick Room is going to be the order of the day for this matchup, I think, because my slower Pokemon do a hell of a lot of damage to him, so being able to opt into Trick Room is pretty nice. This does also allow us, if we are not bringing our Trick Room matchup, to counter Porygon 2's Trick Room, just in case it does come. Expanding Force does a huge amount of damage to everything that's not named Mandibuzz, so definitely worth the pickup. Obviously, yes, Mandibuzz kind of walls this set, but I can just Ally Switch out and let something else hit it, which is essentially what we're going for. Next up is going to be one of our Trick Room abusers, 12 AM Turt, the Expert Belt Torkoal this week. We are running max HP, max special attack, with, of course, Droughts as normal to counter the sand. With Earth Power, Heat Wave, Solar Beam, Protect. These max moves actually do a hell of a lot of damage to everything on his team. Earth Power, Max Quaking is actually very, very nice for the potential Alchemy damage, or the Dragougi damage, or like the special attacks from Dracozolt. So that's all something to bear in mind nicely. Solar Beam is pretty handy as well. It does actually allow us to get some good damage off on the Hippowdon, means it can't freely stay in, which is nice. Also gives us grassy terrain for recovery, which helps us out a little bit because unfortunately Torkoal doesn't get recovery moves, so I have to bear that in mind. Heat Wave over Lava Plume. I'm not going to make the same mistake I did in my prep last week. So we are bringing in Heat Wave instead to do that little bit of extra damage off those Sun Boosted Max Flares, which are pretty darn disgusting. And our physical Trick Room abuser this week is going to be making its return off the bench from last week. It is going to be 12 AM Snack the Steelix. Rocking Rocky Helmet this week. I debated on Psychic Seed to cover for potential Dragougi, but I didn't feel the need for it. So I just ran Rocky Helmet instead, as before a lot of his Pokemon are physical based, so being able to get some damage off on the contact moves is definitely pretty handy for us. We're running max HP, max attack. I opted to run this instead of fully Fizz-Def Body Press, because Body Press, while it is pretty good against a lot of this team, it is kind of crippled a little bit. So I opted to run Curse, Ice Fang, Gyro Ball, and Drill Run. Ice Fang is pretty nice. It allows us to take on the Mandibuzz, which is something that otherwise I couldn't do unless I brought Rock Slide, which I didn't really feel the need to. I feel like these moves cover everything on his team a little bit better. Gyro Ball, of course, covers the Alchemy, which is extremely nice. Drill Run covers things like Zeraora, Dracozolt, Arcanine under Trick Room, which is exceptional. And Ice Fang is pretty decent coverage. It does allow me to hit Dragougi and Mandibuzz pretty well, as well as, of course, the Hippowdon. So that is going to be the team we're bringing this week. So definitely an interesting matchup. Weather Walls are always fun. They're definitely skill matchups, so we'll see how well he can play against me. So, that's going to be our team, so let's take you all into the battle. See you in a bit. Alrighty guys, we are connected up with our good friend Midnight Wolf. Let's see what we got going on here. As always, if you skip the team builder, those are the 6 Pokemon I'm bringing, but watch the team builder for the in-depth breakdown of what we're bringing, because our sets vary every week. You can see the 6 I think he's potentially bringing over there. Honestly, he could bring a lot of different things. So, there is the possibility that Mandibuzz comes, Zeraora can come, I think probably those two would be the most likely for the Alchemy, but we will see what he opts for. He could throw the odd stray Ardeno in there. That's always a possibility. But yep, we are going to let this battle go. Our team is selected, ready, and raring to go. Good luck, of course, Midnight Wolf and the Norfolk Nidorinas. It's going to be a nice, interesting game. I've been looking forward to this one because I think this is a very underrated player. You know, even though he's very new to the VGC format, he is a very good player. So he's got a very good history in singles. So we will see how things go. He's just making sure we're connected to the right person because I obviously have a different name. Because I use my IRL name when I'm on my competitive account. So, I have made a slight adaptation. I am actually going to have a note section over there because I've noticed in my last 2 games I've forgotten certain bits of information that I shouldn't have. So, I'm going to try and make the adaptation. I'm going to take notes as I go. Little tricky to do when you're on a timer, so we'll see how well this goes. But, let's see what he brought for me. He did bring Mandibuzz, but no Dracozolt, actually. So, he's gone very Trick Room heavy. I'm fine with that. So no Dracozolt, which means Steelix is a little bit less useful in this match, but Steelix is actually very, very good against pretty much everything on this team. So Trick Room is going to be the order of the day here. So, I think I can still go Grimmsnarl Pheromosa as my original planned lead. Because I kind of want to see what he opts for. I could also lead in DD and Torkoal to deny any potential sand shenanigans, but he may not even bring sand. Let's see. I do want Screens. I think Screens is very nice against his team. I think I can lead, actually, Grimmsnarl and Torkoal, or Grimmsnarl and Steelix. I like Grimmsnarl Steelix quite a lot, but I think we'll go Grimmsnarl Pheromosa with Steelix and either Torkoal or Indeedee. I like Torkoal just so I can potentially deny a sand. Obviously, I can work around any potential Trick Room anyway. So he doesn't bring Dracozolt, he brings Mandibuzz. Okay. So he leaves P2 Hippo, so he's going for Trick Room. I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. Let me get a Mandibuzz sprite while we are waiting. So he does get sand up, which is a little annoying, but that's fine. Whatever. We can work around sand. So, the question is, what do I want to do here? Because we actually have Trick Room in the back. So, I don't necessarily mind Trick Room going up here. So, I think what I can do is, if I Fake Tears Max Knuckle into P2, I think we're in a pretty compelling spot. Or I can try and deny his weather. There is also the consideration that this is Max Porygon 2 that I need to consider. So we are going to Fake Tears into the P2. I could Max Steelix in the back, but I actually kind of want to Max Knuckle into the Porygon. Or I could also deny the sand by Hailstorming into Hippo. Yeah, I think we Hailstorm Hippo. So this might seem like an odd play, but the reason we go for this is because if he does opt for Trick Room, we have 2 Trick Room answers in the back. So we're fine if he goes for Trick Room. But we are going to max the model. We've maxed Pheromosa before, so I wonder if he saw this coming. Be interested to see if he protects Hippo. Does he max here? He does not, which is fine. He does protect the Hippo, but that's okay. We do Fake Tears the P2. Which is nice for us. So I probably could have knuckled into Hippo there, but I actually want to see how much this Hailstorm does. And the fact we're going to chip off some damage either way here. Okay, that's pretty specially bulky. Interesting. So he will get up Trick Room here, which is a little annoying. But I don't know if you can kill me. with what I have. I guess you're now slower than me with both your Pokemon. So that's also something to consider. Do I mind Pheromosa going down here? Not necessarily. So Hippo's gonna go first. So if I set up a Reflect, and then Knuckle into P2, I think we're in a good spot here. Assuming that I live. I don't think I live any hit, especially if he maxes P2 here, which I could definitely see him doing. But we are pretty aggressive with this build, so we will see. So I kind of figured he would go for Trick Room. Because Trick Room is probably his best way to play against the Pheromosa, as he doesn't max still, so kind of interesting to see that he's not opting to max. Rock Slide, actually. You see, it does very little. And he's Life Orb, so that's good to know. Try Attack, this probably kills. Oh, we lived! Oh, no! Oh, we thawed out, though. Whew! Okay. That was a roller coaster of emotions right there. But Porygon 2's gone down, which is great news. Pheromosa actually picked up a kill in this matchup, which is crazy. But yeah, Reflect definitely saved us there. So, we know this P2 is Trick Room. I didn't see Download, so I don't know if it's Analytic. But we've seen Trick Room, Tri Attack. We know Hippo is Life Orb. We know it's got Rock Slide. So, game 1. Pheromosa killed P2. Alright, so Dragalge comes in. I can set up Light Screen here. Pheromosa's probably going to go down. But at the very least, I can try to max Hailstorm. Dragalge is naturally slower than Grimmsnarl, so I'm assuming this is going to outpace me. Hippo goes Protects. That's fine. That's fine by me. So we're going to get our Light Screen up. So we have Reflect 7 turns, Light Screen 8 turns. Let's go for Sludge Wave. Obviously doesn't connect on Hippo. I don't think this kills both, right? Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. So nearly dropped my controller. Dragalge killed Pheromosa. So we've seen Dragalge has Sludge Wave. And it's also Black Sludge, so that's good to know. Black Sludge. Sludge Wave. So, Trick Room is still up. Which means that I can essentially go Torkoal here. Or I can go Steelix and try to Curse. Actually, I like the idea of going Steelix now. Alright, Steelix gets his debut, so we can Fake Tears Dragalge to prepare for Torkoal to come in. And I think we Drill Run the Dragalge. As he opts to max, this is obviously Dragalge that he's maxing. Is he Geysering? I guess he could be Geysering. Because Dragalge gets Surf, right? So he's probably maxing here to avoid the Surf hitting Hippowdon. So we are going to Fake Tears, we are going to get some lowered Spadef. Dragalge is very specially bulky, so this is very helpful for us. We do connect the Drill Run. Doesn't kill, but it does a good amount. As we do see the Geyser, so he has Surf. Good to know. He goes into Steelix, doesn't do a lot, as you can see, we are max HP, so pretty decent result for us here. So we do see the Rain go up, and Rock Slide, that's fine. Steelix actually dodged it, which is kind of helpful for us. So Grimmsnarl goes down, but Grimmsnarl did pretty well there. He's gonna get some Life Orb damage. Alright. And now we can go into Torkoal. So... Hippo... kills... Grimmsnarl. Alright, so... I think we double into the Dragalge here. I don't know if Hippo can kill me through Reflect, unless he crits. So I think we Earth Power into Dragalge. Maybe I don't run that risk and just Ice Fang Hippo anyway. But if he is max HP, then he probably lives. Dragalge is doing more damage, so... Alright, let's see how much his Earth Power does. Yeah, not enough to kill, so it was a good choice to double up here. We do connect the drill round, so Dragalge goes down. Steelix picks up its first kill of the season. Kills Dragalge. And I drop my controller. Feels bad, man. Rock Slide. Does he not have Earthquake? Or is he just not clicking it? Yeah, that did nothing. Alright, what's your last Pokemon? Trick Room is now ended, which actually is a problem. If it's Mandibuzz. It's Alchemy, actually. Okay. Okay, interesting. So, I kind of want to protect Torkoal here. But at the same time, I want to fire off a Heat Wave. And if I can live a hit, then I can Gyro Ball here. The question is, can I live a hit? Oh, no, that's bad. So he does have Decorate. Kind of expected to see that. Decorate. He has Earthquake. Alright. How much does this do now? You're +2. It does actually knock me both out. Alright. So, pretty good finish from him there. I didn't play around Trick Room as well as I could have done. So, he did actually not bring Mandibuzz or Arcanine. Oh wait, Hippo actually killed the Alchemy as well. That's kind of funny. So, Hippo kills Steelix. Hippo kills Torkoal. Hippo kills, or I'll just say Alchemy died to Hippo. Alright. So, adaptations here. What do I need to worry about? We'll play with the same rules. So, I don't think I'm gonna opt to play the same way I did last time. I do like Grimmsnarl as a lead, though. Grimmsnarl actually did a lot there. The question is, what else do I want to play with? I could opt to bring Dracloak. If I get some clutch burns, I think we're in a good spot here. Alright. So, he went for Hippo P2 last time. I like the idea of leading Dracloak and Steelix, just because if he does opt to try to go for Trick Room again, I can position Steelix pretty nicely. Pheromosa did pretty well in Game 1. And Pheromosa is actually pretty good against this team. Because after Fake Tears, I one-shot P2 comfortably. But I don't know if I want to try that again. Maybe I bring Torkoal, Steelix, Grimmsnarl in the back, maybe? Or do I want Indeedee? Okay. Let's see what I can do here. Let's try Grimmsnarl here with Torkoal and Steelix in the back. I do think Torkoal Steelix in the back is the way to go. Maybe I should bring in Didi though, just to guarantee Trick Room off. But we'll see. Alright, so let's see what he brings game 2. We didn't see Mandibuzz, we didn't see Arcanine, so let's see what he opts for this time. Arcanine Alchemy, so a bit of a change up this time. Alright. So Dracloak in front of Alchemy does not feel good. We got Outlet here. I'll tell you that much. We got Outlet here. I do want to see if this is offensive Arcanine. Because if he decorates, then I could have a hard time here. I think Breaking Swipe. I kind of want to protect Dracloak here. What if I switch Dracloak out into Torkoal? Alright, let's switch out into Torkoal then. And then we set up Reflect. Okay, so Torkoal's gonna come out. This is a risky play if Arcanine maxes, but we will see if this works. We'll set up Drought. So we'll get to see what this Arcanine is. And he is maxing, so I'm assuming this is Arcanine. I don't think this would be Alchemy, right? Yeah, it's Arcanine. Alright, so we'll see what this thing wants to do. Does he have Outrage on this thing? Is he max Wormwinding? Okay, we gotta Reflect up. Is he Wormwinding? Darkness. Oh, he has Crunch. Good to know. So, he has Crunch. So, what did Alchemy go for? Baccarat. Okay. So, he miscalculated his timing there. Because, obviously, Arcanine being faster does not help. So, now I like the idea of max Quaking. We will max Quake and Fake Tears. So we're gonna go back to our old tried and trusted of maxing Torkoal, which is something we obviously did before. I'm not playing this too well though. He's playing very, very well. Full credit to him. Full credit to him. If I led Pheromosa here, I probably would have lost anyway. So I think I should have led in DD. We are going to get Fake Tears off. Obviously, we're going to move last anyway, because we're a Torkoal, but I want to see what else he goes for. Flare. Okay. Into Grim. That just kills. Alright. So, Arcanine. Arcanine. Kills. Grimmsnarl. So, he has Flablets, of course. Crunch. Flablets. But now the Arcanine is dead. So Torkoal kills Arcanine. And now we've also got a Spadef boost as well, which is pretty nice for us. So the question is, what does he bring in now? I'm gonna bring back Dracloak. P2, actually. That's fine. That's fine. And it is download P2. Alright. And he gets a special attack boost. That's kind of annoying. So we know he's download. We know Alchemy has Dazzling Gleam. I like the idea of just max Quaking into Alchemy and Ally Switch. But the problem is Ally Switch is not going to do much if he Dazzling Gleams. So I'm going to protect Dracloak here. So this is not an ideal position. So he decorates P2. That's kind of problematic. Alright, so now it's +3. How much does this do? Doesn't kill. Can we get rid of this alchemy? That would be really good. Wow, that did nothing. Okay. And he's leftovers. Alright. That is insane how little that did. Okay. So I think now I just flare into P2. Or I flare... Yeah. I kind of want to flare into P2. And then ally switch. I have to reposition somehow to get back into this. Because Steelix, I don't think, beats P2 when it's this heavily buffed. He does decorate again. Question is, did he predict my ally switch? That's the big question. He did not, so we got a good read there. Okay. We didn't even do half. Damn. Very bulky P2. Yeah, I think we lose this, chat. I think we lose this game. That was a very poorly played series on my end. I guess I can try to read him again by ally switching. And then going for Heat Wave. Or I can protect to cover it. Sure, why not? He can't max, so... I'm stalling out my own son, which is the downside. We'll go for protect. And we ally switch. Dazzling Gleam. No. Okay. Well, to be fair, I'm glad he went for that. Ice Beam. Yeah, he predicted the ally switch there. Smart. Alright. So this alchemy is back at full, which is annoying. I think we have to go for damage here. And then this time I protect. I don't even know what his last is. Does Gleam. This should kill Torkoal. Oh, we lived on 1. That's actually massive. He did double into me, though, just in case, so... Fair enough. P2 kills Torkoal. Now can Steelix win this game? That's where the question comes in. Can Steelix win this game? I don't know if I can win here. We all got a gyro ball here, and then ally switch. He could read this, and if he does, well played. He deserves to win the game if he wins from this. But we are gonna ally switch here. Dazzling Gleam, that's fine. There's very little. And recover, actually. So he covered for my ally switch there, but I wonder if this gyro ball kills this alchemy. We do connect. Oh, not quite. Okay. Not quite. So I need a curse. I need a curse up. Okay. So my sturdy is broken, which also makes this a little more tricky. I think I protect and still go for alchemy here. Let's see if he reads this. If he reads this, he deserves to win. Quite honestly. He does gleam again. More chip on Steelix. Dude, did you read my play? He did. Oh, well done. If I had a hat on right now, I'd tip it to you. Midnight Wolf, you played this well, buddy. I did not, so... Well done, dude. You deserve to win. I should have probably brought in Didi. I played this really badly, so... you can pick whoever kills my Dracloak. I don't mind. Give the kill to whoever you want it to go to. But yeah, full props to you. I don't know why I played this badly. I do think I didn't prep as well as I would have liked. And that definitely did not help my cores. But yeah, Alchemy kills Dracloak. Very interesting team he brought, though. I definitely pretty much expected everything, so I played really poorly despite that. So yeah, great games, Midnight Wolf. Make sure you guys check out his side of the battles. After the fact, of course, go subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. But yeah, bit of a disappointing week, but we bounce back next week. Next week we play Rotten Tomatoes, so we'll see how well that goes. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Royal Bomby Teacher. I'm your coach of the Royal Bomber for Bombies. Stay safe, stay awesome. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.